felt something that I hadn't felt in a very long time, Pisces, and this was a sense of direction and a sense of purpose. In other words, I felt a very emperor vibe, if you know what I mean. Emperor vibe came in. Pisces, and welcome back to Intuitive Energies and a brand new week. So we're going to be doing for the week of the 12th to the, I'm sorry, the 13th to the 19th. But, you know, I don't date these anymore because, I don't know, it seemed to do better. So it's for May, right? It's for May. So if you're here and you're watching this, you have arrived at the right spot. So let's take a look for the week. What kind of energies are going to be very in your face. Now, right away, when I got up this morning, I felt something that I hadn't felt in a very long time, Pisces, and this was a sense of direction and a sense of purpose. In other words, I felt a very emperor vibe, if you know what I mean. Stability and wanting to do something in structure and you know, in a straightforward kind of path. This is good for us, okay? So if you have things that you want to do this week, I would suggest putting it down on paper, making yourself little to-do lists, and getting them done, because it's going to be a high efficiency week. I'm not quite sure why, but I never know. I just go with what comes in. All right, so I'm going to pull a couple of cards, and I'm going to do the Celtic cross like I always do. So what's this week going to be about for my beautiful Pisces and myself, of course, because, well, you know, we're all in this energy. So, by the way, you're doing fantastic. If anybody hasn't told you yet, you are knocking it out of the park this year. And, you know, for some people to say, well, I haven't done much. I feel like I've just been working on myself and I've been struggling a lot. Yeah, you know what? You've still been doing a lot. You have accomplished so much. Stop right now, give yourself a pat on the back, and, you know, you're here. You're doing it. You're here, and you're doing it. Look at that change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement, and that's exactly why I said that, okay? Sometimes we like things to move, but we want them to move. We're thinking, oh, it's going to all move in a positive way, right? Movement for us, it's like I'm shifting it and it's moving in the direction that I want it, and nothing is going to fall out of place. Well, excuse me, because that doesn't always happen. Movement's going to happen, but yeah, it doesn't mean that it's going to be the kind of movement that you want, okay? So, yeah, let me see here. The full moon in Sagittarius is going to be, is it in the week that I'm talking about here, or no, it's going to be next week, I believe. So, yeah, on Saturday, the member video, I believe, is going to be about this new moon, because it's going to be, not this week, or it's going to be next week. So if you're in the week that these videos are dropping, the full moon is on the 23rd of May, and it's going to be a full moon in Sagittarius. Okay, so we're still under the new moon in Taurus. Taurus is very much a grounded sign, so I'm not surprised. Taurus, it feels very, I know the Emperor is not an earth sign, but the Emperor sits on a big rock chair, okay, in the ground. So I always think that that's what that feels like. Change is definitely coming, but I feel like the word change is like, this is a good week for it, okay? This is a good week for you to do things, okay? Get them done. Get them completed, okay? Get yourself to the next level. If you feel any kind of motivation like I am right now, just get it done. Do it, okay? Like, don't lollygag. Don't linger. Don't put it off. Just do it. Just do it. You're going to feel so accomplished. 33, communication, okay? All right, so 33 is, first of all, a very special number. This is numerology. This is a numerology deck, and I do have a life path number tarot channel, okay? So you have 1 to 9, 11, 22, and 33. check that out. It's in the link below. It's doing good. It's growing slowly, organically, lovely. So if you're not part of it, go check that out. If you don't know your life number, I have a video telling you how to find it. Okay? So communication. Important to you this week, okay, because it's also the number 6, 33 and 6. It's committing to your well-being. But in order to do that, you have to not only communicate your needs. I'm going to tell you right away, you got to communicate what you want. Let me see if I can change this around. I'm always playing with those stupid lights. Okay. You need to communicate what you want to yourself and to others, okay? But to yourself. Now, don't be lying to yourself about what you can or can't do. And if you're telling yourself you can't do something, be completely honest why you can't. I had something I remember, I told my son this week, and he surprised me with the truth. But, you know, they're doing, these kids, I told him, I said, I feel like you should be doing more, you know, around the house. I just looked at him, you know, instead of just getting angry and saying, you know, pull your weight, do your things. I just looked at him and I said, you know, I feel like you should be doing more. I said, why don't you do more? And he looked at me straight up and went, yeah, you're right. I should be doing more, but I'm lazy. That was the most truthful thing that I'd ever heard. It was like an honest conversation. And I remember looking at him going, you don't think I don't get lazy? Everybody's lazy. Everybody can let themselves be lazy. But what are you going to do to help yourself? You know, do a little more, okay? To be kinder to the rest of the people in the household. And he went, good point. And that was the conversation. And of course, you know, he did a little more. So, but the communication was so brilliantly honest. There was no, you know, fluffing it or making it better or worse. And I like to believe it's because we do it more and more in this household. We say it like it is, right? And sometimes we'll even go in further. For him, no, but for myself, I go, well, why am I lazy? Am I feeling tired? Am I not optimized physically? Is there a reason? You know, like you can go in and go figure it out. Instead of saying I'm lazy, it's I'm feeling lazy. It becomes a very different thing, okay? So, just be very honest with yourself this week, okay? Change what you can change. Communicate your intentions, your needs. Be a 33 in your 6, okay? Not only being committed to your well-being, but up it up a notch. 33 is an angel number. Up it up a notch and tell yourself, look, there's a bigger purpose for me doing this right now. It's not just about communicating. It's communicating to get somewhere. So, I used this deck, the Muse, very lightly last week. So I decided I wanted to use it this week for the Celtic Cross. So let's look at the energy for the week and then continue on from there. Two materials. Okay, so this is it. Change, adapt. I like all of this. This is movement. This is a willingness. I just feel there's a willingness for you to do what needs to be done to get to where you need to go. I like that. I love that kind of energy because it's the kind of energy that is open, right? It kind of opens you up and you're going, I'm open to possibilities. I'm open to change. I'm open to juggle different things and adapt them and see them and say, okay, let's do them. It's a very open week. It's a very fruitful week. I feel that you're going to get a lot done this week. All right. Little coffee moment. So what could be your block this week? What might stand in your way this week if you let it? I like these because when you take them out, it kind of gives you an indication. It kind of gives you ahead of the game, ahead of the curve. And if you're feeling very emperor-like this week, that's going to help you out, right? So what's the Magician? Very interesting. Now, I took out this little deck right here because I need clarification. How would a magician be, like if you have the tools, is it simply because you're not using them? Is it because you're not seeing the magic in yourself? I feel that it's maybe you don't think there's certain things available to you. So maybe that's why communication. That's why I said, are you lazy or are you feeling lazy? Are you delving into the knowledge that you have to see if there's a further truth or a better communication? Right, so conflict is the card that comes in to clarify that. So that's, yeah, it's problem solving. So if you're having hard time solving the problems, I do feel it's because you're not utilizing all the tools. That's what came in, and that's what feels like it's saying right there. It's like, I have the tools, but I'm not using them all. So at one point this week, let's remind ourselves that when we hit a snag or something doesn't work out, that we have an incredible tool belt full of things that we can use. Full of things that we can use. Okay? So let's see here. Let's continue on. These two sections are my favorite. I call them the crown and the ground. Because this is like, you know, below you, above you. So that's what I call them. That's what I call them. So let's look at the ground. Or rather, let's do the crown. Let's go from the top to the bottom for once. Let's do it differently. I always feel like I'm doing it in reverse. Let's do it that way. There are no rules. There are no rules. That's one of the things here, right? I read this morning. We believe there are rules to everything. I was reading just one of those memes on Facebook. It's going, who says you have to take a shower standing up? Why don't you take it laying down? Okay. Who says you have to do this? Who says you have to do that? Do your own rules. Do whatever gets it done in the moment, and you don't need to bind or bound yourself to a specific way of doing things, especially if there are multiple ways and it's not hurting anybody. Just, you know, don't be so specific sometimes. Just get it done. At the crown, beautiful, there is the death card. All right, so what does that mean? It means that there's going to be transformation, okay? Butterfly, butterfly, butterfly. You are going through this. You are changing into somebody who is making things happen. The transformations are happening, most definitely. They're happening. They're happening in a level of, you know, above you. Above you. All right, I get it. I get it. Okay. One more time? No? No? Are you done disturbing me now? Death. What else? Transition, an ending to a new beginning. Profound change. There we go. That's what that's the thing. Profound change. Okay? This card is assigned to profound change and a change. It's not just a change. It's profound changing. In other words, it's changes that's going to stay with you or change the direction of where you are going. I feel that a lot of things are like that for me because I've made everything matter, if you know what I mean. Every little thing I do it differently. Every little thing that I say differently. Even these readings, every second that I spend in every day, I want it to matter. I want it to be happy. I want it to be meaningful. I want it to be contentment. I want it to be exciting. I want it to be inspiring. You can have all of those or one of those, but they need to be those things. And every time I do that, I feel that there's a profound change of my life is going forward in purpose. Okay? So let's take your ground. The Six of Emotions. Okay. So, recapture the child within. Okay? Protect that child within. That's going to be a big key. Also, because it's at the ground, it's important to remember everything that you've healed as a child. And if you haven't done that healing, it's important that you get to it. And you're going to say, Jane, that's easier said than done. Yes, absolutely. My child still heals to this day. Okay? But start doing that work. Not easy. Sometimes very in your face, okay? A lot of shadow work to be done sometimes because you create a lot of stuff around this because it's the first things that happen to you as a child. They get very ingrained in you, okay? Like they say, from 0 to 6, your mind's a sponge. So a lot of your settings, what I should call it, your settings are in there, okay? From that time, and you have to kind of sometimes reboot those settings. There's certain settings that need to be refreshed, and you know that button that you have on the phone, what put back to factory reset. Yeah, some of those things need to be factory reset, and sometimes one of the greatest joys, I'm going to tell you, is because she looks very sad here. But one of the greatest things is to recapture the joy. Or if you weren't able to have a childhood, to create one, okay? You start doing things that make you happy, that a child would, right? You find that childhood joy in your adult life. And that can be interesting too. It can be an interesting journey. Because I always, at the beginning, used to tell people, fine, remember when you were a child and you were happy? I don't remember being happy as a child. So that was kind of hard. If you don't have childlike joy, how do you recapture or go back? There were very few moments of that where I felt really good. The few moments that I did have, I did like really live in it, but I needed to kind of build through example of watching children. Children do what they love to do. They create things. They have great imagination. So I have to do that as an adult. And I've created a few different pockets of happiness that feels very much like this. So this card packs a punch. It has different meanings for all of you. For those of you who have been working on childlike joy and feeling that joy of the heart and, you know, skipping through your life, you know, finding that skipping feeling, then absolutely keep doing that because you bring joy into your life. You bring joy in everything that you do. For those who haven't dealt with it yet, it's time for you to clear out things, recapture things, and bring back that feeling. The most important part is that feeling of innocence, that feeling of the world is a beautiful place. It really is, before all of the emotional and mental load that we feel, okay? Or that gets implanted in you as you go along. All right, so let's look at the before and after. I don't mind these ones, but I feel that they're less for me because I don't feel that they really give you, I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm going to put them one above the other. Usually it's one across, but... So the before. The Seven of Emotions. It's the Seven of Cups, yeah. Decisions, okay? You've had decisions to make, and you've made those decisions, absolutely. Sometimes you were faced with too many decisions. Again, this is a double-edged sword. You may have decisions and not being able to make choices, okay, with this. Not being able to adapt yourself to make the choices. The second thing with the Seven of Cups is having choices and not being able to knowing what the right choice is. That's the second part. The third part is after a long time of having no choices or limited choices, you now have too many choices and it's all about the illusion and the delusion and I don't know, you just don't know what to do with all of it, okay? So it's what do you call it? It's a hiccup. Okay, in the past, some of this felt like a hiccup. When you open up the doors to things and they come in, you think it was a blessing. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's kind of like, oh, too much change. Too much change. What's going on? I don't know how to move forward. So instead you end up being stuck in permanent, never being able to decide. This is very hard. This is a very hard position to be in. But I feel that in the past you have weeded out through everything. You figured everything out. You've seen the good choices from the bad for you, okay? Because not everybody makes the same decisions. And you've also decided, you've whittled it down to, you know, one or two things that you figure, yeah, I'm going to do these. I'm going to put my attention and my focus on these. So you've been working hard. All right. So what's coming in the future is the Queen of Inspiration, but she came out in reverse. Now, it doesn't mean that that energy isn't there. It doesn't mean that it's bad or anything. It just means that the Queen is saying that, look, you need to bring fun into your life. The Queen of Wands is a fun queen. Both these cards are like talking to me about the same thing. She's optimistic, influential, beautiful. Now, you're going to have to put yourself in a mood or in a frame of mind that you probably have not been in or let yourself be in, okay? For me, if you had told me, you're going to be the Queen of Wands one day, you're going to walk around and shine, I would have said, right, I'm invisible. I try to be invisible, and I like my invisibility, okay? And I feel that that is probably one of the things here that comes up the most, is like, you need to shine. You need to radiate joy and happiness where you go. You need to rediscover that beautiful inner child, let her or him out, okay? To play. You need to play. The Queen of Wands is gorgeous. She is that magnet of vibrancy and inspiration, creativity. She is the equal to the child, but as a beautiful and glorious adult, right? She is what the child looks at and goes, wow, look at that star. Look at that shining star. I want to be like her, or I want to be like him. That is who the Queen of Wands is. Very, very flamboyantly beautiful. And what I see here is that you are muting that. So that's coming in. I feel there's still going to be work to be done here. Okay? This is not in the long-term future. This is like, you know, coming up. Coming attractions. You will have to find your Queen of Wands and flip her around. Make her beautiful, inspirational, shiny, okay? You have to make yourself shiny, because we forget to be shiny. We forget to shine, so you're going to have to shine, okay? All right, so how do others see you? Let's go and look at that. Emperor vibe came in, and look at the Emperor. You say it, and it happens. Let me push that aside now. Okay, so yes, the Emperor is here. So how do they see you as? They see you as exactly what I said. Somebody who is putting things into structure. You're putting things into order. You're becoming the leader of your own life. You're becoming a practical problem solver right here, okay? They're going to see you trying to figure this out. This is your block, but they're going to see you trying to figure things out. Pulling all the magician's tools out of the tool bag going, wait a minute, what do I have here? Can I cross these? You know? It's like suddenly you're going to like, you're going to have structure, but to it, you're going to also have magic. So if you are, and I'm saying this just because if you are a 22-4, which you'll understand if you're part of my other channel, it's going to be your week to rock, okay? Because you have to pull out your magician's tool, and you have the Emperor. So you have the two cards here that mark who you are, okay? And what I mean is not the magician is you. I mean that the fool is you. The fool is going to be adventurous enough to use the magician's tools to make things happen. That's what I meant. And for the rest of you, well, it's time to go to master class and figure that part out. Okay? Figure that part out. How can you make something new, like the fool, with the magician's tools to bring more stability and put you further? It's like somebody who is very sure within themselves and taking anything and everything and just turning it into gold. And that's exactly what this week is. You're going to turn things into gold. You're going to absolutely transform. So how do you see yourself this week? Let's see if they match up. Okay, so 2 cards came out. You have the Page of Voice. You guys know what I think of the Page of Swords, but you also with it have the Muse of Inspiration, which is the Queen's conjoint partner, the King. So what are you going to do? The Page of Swords, and it's probably my fault if you've been with me for a long time. I give him a very negative review. But he's also the page who comes up with all the mental ideas, right? All the things, and it's like he's the architect of ideas. The thing is if he gets too stuck, sometimes he can make things untrue sound true with logic, right? He can get somebody who doesn't think further than the thoughts that he gives and kind of stump him. Okay, so that's why I don't like the Page of Swords. But the Page of Swords has some really good ideas. You know, jotting down all these ideas, and they all sound really great. It's like the 7 of Cups right here. Go, ooh, those all sound really great. Well, with your King of Inspiration, you're going to feel like you can put those ideas in motion. And that's how you're going to feel this week. You're going to say, I can take those and do something with them. Okay, so here again is where you're going to go and take these new things, okay, like the Fool, new, young, great ideas, inspirational, and you're going to turn them into something, right? You're going to go, I can take the lead on that, make things happen. All right, so let's go to the next part, which is your hopes and fears. Okay, so that went away. Let me bend down because I'm so good at that. All right. Okay, so your hopes and fears is the 2 of Emotions. Because I don't know if it came in reverse or not, I'm just going to pull another one here. It seems pretty clear to me, though. Yeah. You're hoping for harmony in this new inspirational time for you, okay? I feel that you're really pushing these inspirational thoughts. You really want to. You're hoping to get some kind of like, what I feel is like you want it to connect to each other. You want inspiration and motion and change to kind of be one, right? Everybody dreams of that. I had the idea, put it forward, it was successful, boom, okay? And I think that's what you're feeling, like in relationships, in love, in business, in everything. You just want to put these things in motion. You want to change your life, you want to change your relationship, you want to change your career, you want to change everything. You're hoping that these two will meet together and boom, there will be some kind of beautiful vibrational explosion that's just going to make things happen. Okay, it's going to be harmony. I feel, though, that you are still not really convinced. This is And it's the word hope. You hope. Because remember, this is the hopes and fears, right? You're hoping it all works out, but you're not sure if it would. You really hope, though. Big, big hopes. Big wishes when it comes to this. All right, so let's see the outcome for this week. The Seven of Inspiration. Okay, so this is the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is perseverance and challenges. I could have told you what that was just because I see the Queen here in reverse, okay? She's like sitting here reminding me that you're going to do great work this week and you are going to move forward. I feel the Emperor vibe in you, like the determination to do it. However, it's not going to come like lickety-split easy. It's going to, you're going to have to work at it. There's going to be work that needs to be done. You're going to have to keep pushing through, keep persevering, keep meeting these challenges. Even at some points, keep pushing, you know, being aggressive, standing your ground and going in times of, you know, feeling like, oh, this might be defeat. You're going to have to just keep pushing. I think that a lot of it has to do with you, okay? I am seeing the communication card in both here and there, and that could be with others. So, of course, our lives doesn't only revolve around us most of the time. We have other people involved. Just be very clear. If there are miscommunications, it's time to really clear those up, okay? Make sure that it's crystal clear, that by the time the person leaves you, they understood you completely, and there's no chance of misunderstandings. I would say that would be very important because that can work as a block. But keep juggling, okay? These are work cards. The adapting and here the persevering. They're cards of I want to put the work in and I want to get to where I want to go, okay? Look, the devil is underneath the deck. And the reason I'm showing you this is to tell you that the only time that you can get into trouble is if you start restricting yourself again. If you start believing the lies of, you know, telling yourself, I'm stuck. Okay? Free yourself of these cycles. Make up your own rules if you need to. Certain rules are just put as a guide for you, and I'm not talking about the rules of don't harm anybody. Okay? That one applies all the time. Vibrational, spiritually, if it's going to hurt somebody, don't do it. Okay? But I'm talking about the rules, you know, the things. It's like, you know, don't put this and that in the dishwasher. You know, there's certain things, like I said, everybody say, well, when you take a shower, you stand up. When you take a bath, you lay down. Why? It's just to let you know that's the way they function. Is it a rule? Do you need to do it that way? No, you can do it any way you want. There's a lot of things this way. Okay? There's a lot of things this way. If you can bend the rules to make it work for you, go ahead. If it's not hurting anybody, who cares? Do it your way. Okay? That's it. That's it for this one. Now, I'm going to remind you that tomorrow I'm doing the extended for this one. So if you want to learn more about this specific reading and you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that now. I should have said, please, everybody, watch the videos from beginning to end. It helps my view time, but I will say it now for tomorrow's video, okay? This keeps me relevant on YouTube. View time is a big, big thing. If this is a 30-minute video and you only watch 5, YouTube thinks this is not a good video. So please take the time to watch it. Please don't speed it up because that also shortens the time. I appreciate your time and thank you so much. Have a great, great week and I hope to see you tomorrow. Leave me a comment. Take care of yourself. Bye for now.